Alright, welcome back to Tactics Ogre Reborn. We're trying to get to that top castle there where the Knights Lothlorien are. Once we get there, there'll be a cutscene that'll probably take up a good chunk of an episode, but for right now we are doing another battle as we make our way there against probably more Galgastani forces. As you can see, I still have guest characters that are deployed. I'm going to scout a little bit just to see what we're looking at, so I can put some characters in position that makes sense. You know, just that corner there is where you want your, some of you, I wouldn't say your fastest characters, but you want to sort of base some of your more physical characters in the front corner there, with of course our hawk friend being sort of you can put him anywhere because he's not affected by a terrain. He just moves and flies up or flies down to whatever terrain you're currently at.
The sooner you accept the truth, the sooner this will be over. The alternative is also swift yet painful.
Oh, they're arguing with
Kill me if you wish. You
with
can never kill
what's
our
her face?
spirit,
I
nor
can't
our
remember her
desire
name
for
off the top of my head
justice.
until they say it.
Defiant cur.
Because they get her and the other Valkyrie girl confused.
Who's that woman?
There's Dame Ravenous,
Resistance.
and
Another
then there's
faction,
this girl, and I don't remember her name off the top of my head. Where is she? We can't let her. We can't just leave her.
Won't stand here and watch her be hunted. Quickly, to her aid.
There's Ravenous, and this is someone else. I don't remember her name off the top of my head. But she represents a different faction that's neither Galgastani nor Wallister. She represents a faction that is loyal to the former king of this land that has he passed away and doesn't have any a successor, or didn't have any heirs, which is sort of what caused all of this warring in the first place. Is that there was a king dog, whatever his name is. We probably talked about him earlier in the previous episode when I was going through the characters that are both present in the game as well as important figures that we haven't physically met yet or have passed away. So the king, I think it's Doggo, it's D something. He died without an heir, but prior to that he had united the lands and basically limited their petty squabbles amongst the Wallisters, Galgastani, the Balbatos, and other warring factions based on location, culture, whatever the excuse is. I'm not 100% sure. Phalanx is a super great move. It helps to really it reduces the damage character takes by a whole bunch. Point that they are essentially a walking tank. It's only good for, I believe, one hit or a couple turns, one or the other. It's pretty fucking ridiculous, though. Yeah. Or maybe it's only good for one turn, like one, cycle between when the white knight goes and when the white, or the, when the knight goes and then when the knight goes again. Boom! So I've given Kashua a range spell, which may or may not come to bite me in the ass, because when you give Kashua this spell, he's more likely to do damage like this lightning bow attack that I just did. It's, like I said, the white magic version of that. So she's more likely to pull her ass into the front line, or she's more likely to take damage from archers and other melee units, which is a problem, obviously. But it also gives you the benefit of having her as an offensive unit, in addition to the strict ability of just her healing stuff. So I like to give her this. Anywho, I think the benefits outweigh the detriments. Because I cannot control Kashua, it is sort of up to RNG as to whether or not she pulls herself forward to attack, or she stays back and heals. And then, of course, whether or not, as the thing obviously falls, whether or not she pulls herself into range to damage herself or not. And as you can see, she's got a more or less full health at this point, so you don't think about healing her. But if 3 or 4 enemy characters go back to back and start targeting her down, it's very easy for her to... She can't die, but for her to essentially retreat, which means she doesn't get any experience, and because she won't participate as a guest character in any of my grinding, this is the only way she can gain levels right now. Yeah, fucking dragons, man, I tell you what. Freaking ridiculous. Block counter. I hate Drain Hard, it's a sucky move. You know what I mean by that? Like, for instance, the detriments of her taking damage greatly outweighs the benefits of her doing, what was that, more than half damage? At least 50% damage. So, you know, you whittle the other characters down best you can, and maybe because of casual you actually happen to kill an enemy, you know? Boom, bitches. Yeah, I want you dead though. Looks like that's not gonna happen though, unfortunately. Lightning is good against water. Great against fighting you, because I get bonus 10% or 10 damage on that, but that 130 is not great. Big damage. We're gonna hit this bush, even though I shouldn't hit this bush because it's only gonna do 1 damage. Or I could heal. That's always good as well. Mend leaf, that's 150 bitches. Fortunately, we've filled up our area of battle, so I'm gonna have to move Denim over here. Go Nightman, who keeps rocking phalanx, which is great. That's the thing. I wish I could put you you move just a little too little, and you're just a little too slow for my taste. But if possible, I'd love to put the knight in my front line, just have him just fucking tank everything and just counter everything. Big damage. A fun factoid about, well, not that, but eventually we're gonna start unlocking finishing moves based on the fact that our weapon proficiency is gonna hit 10, and when it hits 10, I'm gonna get a finishing move for that weapon, dependent on what you. So, for instance, axe, you get a ice-based attack. For swords, you get, I think it's Sonic Crush or something. I believe it's an air-based attack. Bows get what they call dark matter or dark weight. It's something like that. So yeah. I believe each one has an element attached to it, so you want to try to match not only your elemental finisher with the character you have. Does extra bonus damage, but I don't know. You tell me. Ugh. What else? Blah 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 blah. If given the opportunity, I will try to recruit some monsters slash dragons slash whatever other things like undead maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Your name's Christina? I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Anyways, one of the things you want to try to do in this level is keep her alive, because if she dies, you don't get to recruit her later. Now, I don't get to recruit her now, right at this moment, because guess what? This is one of those characters that, you know, has got a unique portrait like Canopus, and you really want to pull him into your party and make him part of, because he's got better stats than a generic unit does. However, you don't get to have her right away. Sort of like, can't remember her name now, great. Dame Ravenous, there we go. She is another one of those characters where you cannot get her right away. If you try to side with her early in the mission, basically the game's like, nope, fuck off, you don't get her, for story reasons. And if you oppose her, it's not a long, per se, it's not a long set of events, like, but it's long enough. It's 4 battles, or 3 or 4 battles, that you have to basically keep her alive in order so that you can recruit her at the end of those battles. But you're basically locked out of certain characters depending on what route you choose. So, for instance, we might be able to recruit, I don't know, we'll just say, for the sake of not doing any spoilers, we'll say that there's a character named Nicholas. I don't know. Maybe I have a character already named Nicholas on my team. But we'll say that Nicholas is a recruitable special character that gets its own. It's not a generic character, but it has its own special, you know, entry in the character guidebook and has a unique portrait. Okay, important to the storyline is what I'm trying to say. And in order to recruit Nicholas, you need to be on, say, the neutral route or the chaotic route to get him. So you cannot recruit the character if you're going lawful. And then even if you do go lawful, I mean, even if you do go neutral or chaotic, there's certain things that you need to do either in terms of answering them to align with their sensibilities, or there's a certain number of battles you have to keep them alive in, because initially, you know, they're a rival character from a rival faction, and basically you win them over your side by being honorable or following whatever alignment they are, whether that be a chaos alignment or a lawful alignment or a neutral alignment. So, but one last thing I'll remind people if they're watching Tactic Ogre for the first time, does not know what the storyline entails. Lawful, as I've probably mentioned in earlier episodes, lawful means following what your lord tells you to do. So you can be a lawful character that's following the orders of your duke or king or queen or prince or whatever general, but what they ask you to do is essentially immoral, okay? But you choosing to follow the dictates by which they give you, the orders they give you, makes you a lawful character, even if those actions are not good at, you know, they're not quote unquote good action. You know, they don't really line up morally. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example without spoilers, okay? So, say, in order to say your boss at work says, hey, I need you to send an email to a vendor and let them know that, you know, right now we're being delayed due to supplier material. You know, you don't have enough supplier material, okay? When in reality, you have enough supplier material, but you're currently being delayed due to laziness or something got lost in transition. So you're going to lie, but you're following your boss's orders. That is lawful in terms of alignment, but it is not necessarily truthful. So, but you're following the law of the land, so in that case you are in alignment with lawful. Anyways, we're gonna cut the episode. When we come back, we'll be doing the next episode. Hopefully we're gonna be getting near the Dark Knights.